Let's talk about President Biden's low profile on the campaign trail now. Here are some of the facts. The president has not held one campaign rally so far this month. By comparison, former President Trump held 26 rallies in October before the 2018 midterms. Former President Obama held 16 campaign rallies in 2010. These are all midterm elections. Julia Manchester is a national political reporter for The Hill. She joins us now. Julia, that's not true. Count, kid, count. I don't think I've heard a president say that, but that was the soundbite that we have been running. He says he's been at 15, but one of the things we talked about last hour is that of 8 of the 9 closest Senate races, he hasn't been there. So what gives? Is the president wanted for campaigning, or is he not wanted for campaigning?
Well, at the end of the day, Mitch, this is a referendum on his first 2 years in office. It's the same for 2018 when President Trump had his first 2 years in office, and in 2010 when Barack Obama had his first 2 years in office. And we see oftentimes at this point in a presidency, a lot of times the president's approval rating goes down, and then their party automatically gets tied to them. So, I think to an extent, this has to do with the fact that a lot of these candidates may not want to be tied to the sitting president, because this president, whether it's directly a result of his policies or not, there is record inflation happening. We see gas prices happening, and Republicans are directly tying these candidates to the president and those economic numbers. So, I think these candidates are trying to walk a very fine line. That being said, though, the former president, the current president is still very much involved. We see him attending fundraisers. Yesterday, he was in Pennsylvania with John Fetterman. He's pushing a lot of his administration's accomplishments, whether it's infrastructure or the Inflation Reduction Act. So he's still doing that and tying that to those down ballot Democratic candidates. But these candidates and the president himself have a very fine line to walk here.
I'm a little bit confused about Nevada because the former President Barack Obama, he's going to be there. And it's not like Joe Biden isn't directly tied to Barack Obama. He was his vice president. They were in the same administration for 8 years. Is Obama a better campaigner at this time than Joe Biden, given how close they are?
Well, there's no question that former President Obama is probably the most popular Democrat in the country, and he has been for some time now. And he's, he had a very successful campaign operation in Nevada when he ran for president in 2008 and 2012. So it makes sense that he will go there. The difference now is that there wasn't the same kind of inflation or rising gas prices that we see now under former President Obama. That's Joe Biden's problem at this point. And actually, there has been some grumbling among Democrats. My colleague Amy Parnes had a piece out on The Hill yesterday saying that there are a lot of Democrats who wish President Obama came out earlier to campaign for them to really boost enthusiasm. He is very much seen as this golden ticket for a lot of Democratic candidates. But I will say this much. I was on the ground in Virginia last year for that state's gubernatorial election. We saw that President Obama and President Biden came out for the Democrat Terry McAuliffe running in that race, and Terry McAuliffe is not governor right now.
Terry McAuliffe is not governor right now. He lost to Glenn Youngkin. Julia Manchester, thank you for that information.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.